Hello there, I'm the base manager and welcome back to Space Engineers. Now, today we have to continue building our resupply station. The Hulk colonizing ship is parked in a different location because I had to go do a little bit of grinding. We were out of iron and we are going to need plenty of that if we ever intend on finish building this. Now, because as per usual, right, every time I go and mine something, I always bring too much of that thing. And well, with just one refinery, I don't think we are going to cut it, so I would like to use the ones that we have built over here to our advantage. But for that, we need power. We only have this battery worth of power, which I would like to save for assembly. Well, given that we have such good sunlight over here, we could, you know, cover the... Of course, I'm missing the plates, obviously. So, as I was saying, now that I have the plates, we could cover the roof with a couple of solar panels. These things are not ultra expensive. They are not super efficient either. You know, it's something. It's a little bit of power that we were not producing before, so I say why not. And there we go. Final solar panel being built. And we are even in a very good location, guys, because we are getting a full efficiency on our solar panels. At least for a little while. Some of them are not exactly at full efficiency, but oh well, at least now we have some power production. If I come over here, let's see, are you recharging? Oh yeah, we are recharging power, so fantastic. That's all that we care. That way, when we are not using our machines, the battery can recharge a little bit, and we should have power to at least run the refineries and the assemblers at the same time. Now, I'm not going to transfer that iron into storage. Hell no, I am not that... yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm a little bit lazy. So, what I was thinking was... I kind of built the base over here because I wanted to use this canyon, right, to create our starport over here. That way we can be leveled with the base and still have the vessels at a decent distance away from the ground, decreasing the likelihood of crashing. So, given that we have some materials that need to be processed and the logistics is already built,
low.
And Susan is nagging me again, we can start building the starport docks from this conveyor junction over there. That's why I built it in there in the first place, and that way we can start actually collecting resources with the Hulk and having them processed by the base. Even if we don't have a drill built just yet, we can use the one over there. Alright, so the connector is now built. I built a junction over there just so we can expand as needed in the future, but right now I have a ship to try to dock over here without crashing against anything, which is easier said than done. Alright, my friends, we are in the critical moment of the approach. I really need to be super careful with that antenna, because it's right next to the connector. I mean, it's not the worst place aesthetic-wise, but let's just say that when you are trying to dock this thingy, it's not exactly convenient, shall we say. At least if you don't want to destroy it, that is. Oh, I never... Oh, yes, I have the connector on my hotbar. Thought I had not that... Got that done, and... we are now connected. Fan-freaking-tastic. This is amazing. Oh, this is going fantastic today. So, that means that you guys should be going crazy. Yes, you are. Unbelievable. And by the way, don't be fooled. This refinery is trying to take credit for something it didn't, okay? I don't know why, but all the resources that I placed inside of the cargo container just ended up in the refinery. Just now is the refinery starting to process anything. Don't you hate when people try to take credit for someone else's job? Unbelievable. But in any case, now that everybody is at work, right? The manager is here, stop slacking around. I'm going to take advantage of both our processing power and refinery power combined, because everything now is connected, to try and build this a little bit quicker than last episode. Okay, so production-wise, the assembler from the Hulk actually took priority over the assembler from the base for some reason, even though I put the things in production in this port. But that only means that I have to put the assembler in cooperative every time I dock the ship and I want to produce from everything at the same time. Well, I discovered the less than ideal side effect. We cannot pull the stuff from the assembler in our ship using the middle mouse button. Like, for example, if I go over here, it's going to tell me that I don't have a bunch of stuff, like, you know, steel tubes, motors, and blah blah blah. But if I go over here into inventory connected to ship only, we can see that the assembler has all of that stuff in it. Which means we have to disable the assembler from the ship so that we are not wasting resources building stuff that we cannot use. So, rather unfortunate, but okay. Well, they might not. You might not be able to pull resources with a build planner from two different connected grids, but clearly they can pull out ammunition. So not all is bad. And now we do have protection in here, should the enemies decide to come too close for comfort. Just going to finish up that part over there and build the second turret, so that we are fully protected from any enemies. They have been coming closer and closer, and I'm not too happy about it. I'd rather be safe than sorry. There we go, second Gatling turret built. Did you pull ammunition? Yes, you did. Now, hopefully, I brought enough boxes of ammo that once we get attacked, we actually can deal with the situation. I know that, for example, once those freighters get within 2 kilometers of us, they are going to spot us and call in a drone strike. Those drones individually are not too difficult to take care, so one or two drones I don't think is an issue. The problem is that sometimes they can be upwards of 4, and then I don't know if we are going to have enough ammo. Also, did you notice that the sun is on the other side of the planet and that we are still getting power? Yeah, these are magical solar panels. They exist only in the future, but in any case, that actually is good for us, I suppose. Because it's going to allow us to gain some power, even during the nighttime. But now that we have the machinery in our base working at full force, I don't think I have any excuse not to get everything going now, especially when it comes to the rest of the logistics and machinery, because we are able to process, but we still need to be able to collect something, right? So I think I'm going to get this done next, because it's most vital, and then we take care of the interior, because that is mostly for decoration and, you know, our own well-being. this didn't take as long as I was expecting. I think we can now start working. Yeah, I have plates on the drill mechanism over here. So the idea that I had would be something like this. First we would have one piston, right? Then one hinge. No, rotor first, then hinge. Come on. Rotor advanced. Right there. To give us side movement. And then a hinge. Right there. Let me lock it in place right now. And the rotor as well. So I don't forget. And the hinge will give us movement in this direction, so that we can drill in a large surface. Cool. Then what do we need? A way to make the pistons go down, so like so. Conveyor for which I need an interior plate, of course. One conveyor junction right there, and then a few more pistons going down. Come on, attach, please. Thank you. So how many can we fit in here before we... that actually doesn't give us a lot of room. Maybe... I'll rotate the rotor this way so that I have a little bit more room. I would like to get at least 3 pistons before I put the drill head on, so that we can have actually a little bit of depth. This is somewhat unacceptable. Okay, new plan. We are going to put a piston over here. And then we are going to extend that piston, and then we'll build the crane. That way we'll have more room, we'll be able to add a couple extra pistons before we add the drill head. And will also give us a little bit more maneuverability. So let me just get this one done so that we can proceed with the rest of the crane. There we go, much better, much better. Okay, so let's proceed to the place that we were previously, which was with one piston right there. Then a advanced rotor. Bam. Lock that rotor in place. Place a hinge. There we go. What? That's it's the wrong thingy. Not a hinge part, a full hinge, please. Thank you. Now let's lock this one in place. Put a conveyor junction in there. And now we can place as many pistons as we want. Well, not as many as we want, but at least we can place a few more. I'd like to have, let's say 4. 4 sounds like a good number. Is this good enough? Yeah, I think so. Because the drill head is actually quite large. Let's see if I can fit one more. See if I can get away with one more. Then, on the drill head, we are actually going to put an advanced rotor. Yeah, I don't think it's going to fit. Come on. Nah. Nah. Not going to fit. Okay, that's fine. We don't need to drill all the way to the other side of the asteroid, so... One less piston is not the end of the world. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Where was I? The advanced rotor. Advanced rotor, then let's make the drill head. Let's make it... Yeah, I think 5 is good enough. 5 is a good enough drill head. We can always expand it in the future, but for the purpose of ice collection, all of these extension on pistons will give us more than enough ice to fill up that entire cargo container. So I think that is anything else more than that would be an overkill. So let's just weld this in place, because the second we have this operational, we can kickstart our hydrogen engine right there to restock all of our batteries, and also refuel the Hulk over here, because the Hulk needs it could use a little bit of fuel, and if I don't have to use its crane, it would be for the best. And freaking tastic, the crane is now welded. I probably could use a few button panels. I already renamed all of these pistons and rotors, but if I really want to make this somewhat operational, I should probably, let's say over here. I don't have the blades, but somewhere around here I'm going to need at least 2 button panels. Alright, my friends. Finally, the buttons have been welded. This is going to allow us some basic control over the crane and the drills. It's not as good as having multiple control groups in a cockpit, but it will do just fine. Now, when it comes to the setup of this drill, it's pretty simple. The rotor, let's go into rotors, for the drill head has been set up at 8 RPMs. I think I'm going to start with that, and then I increase the speed as I see fit. For the pistons, we are going to go down at a speed, where are they, piston down group, at a speed of 0.05. It's this number is a lie. It's rounded up, so we are going to go as slow as possible. Now, this piston right there is not part of that group, so it will remain with its regular speed of 0.5. I don't think we are going to use it at first, but in any case, let's turn on all of this. Let's see if I still remember. Drill group on. Drills are on. Let's turn off the lock in the head. Let's turn on the drill head. Beautiful. Okay, so now we can start pushing it down a little bit. Come on, attach. Thank you. Piston group reverse. It's this one. And let's see if anything explodes. I don't think there is going to be any explosions, but you always need to balance the rotor speed with the piston speed, because you want to rotate as fast as you are going down, so that you don't create any head edges where the drills can clip. So at least the first couple of times it's always a good idea to monitor the system to see if there is any flaws with it. Wow, the pistons are only now going through the halfway mark, and just look at the amount of ice that we already have. We're closing in on 1 million ice. We're going to fill up that large cargo container in no time. So, I would say that this drill is pretty darn good. I might even just stop it now, because we are going to be wasting ice, and there is no point in doing that, so let's pull the drills back up. And whenever we feel like we need more, we can just plunge it back again. There is still 3 or 4 meters worth of ice in there, plus the extension from this piston over there. So I would say that's pretty good. Let's do a final countdown on the ice that we got. Yeah, over 1 million ice. That's just unbelievable. Which means that now we are filling up on hydrogen in here. And then we can turn this thing on. And freaking tastic, our batteries are going to recharge much quicker. And now we can come over here and say that we want to refill our stock. We want to stockpile our hydrogen and recharge our batteries, please. Well, my friends, that's a big freaking hole that we made on the floor just now. And we collect all of those materials, and the sunshine in here, it's absolutely gorgeous. Just look at all of this light. But in any case, I'm going to take this sunlight I'm going to continue building throughout the day. There is still a lot of things that need to be welded, but the important part is that our base is finally operational. We can use it for its original purpose, which was refueling our vehicles. So if for some reason we had to stop right now, this thing would be quote-unquote complete. But as we can see, obviously, it is not complete. So this is the secondary part of the build, and well, I better just get a move on, I suppose. Alright, my friends, now that the exterior and the airlock has been welded, I need to set up a system to depressurize the airlock over here, so that we don't lose too much oxygen. Usually the way I do this is using just a button panel. Let's build it right there. Right, so the way we should do this is, let's go right there. Which one is that one? Let's name this one air vent airlock, right? And then we set up this button right there to go vent airlock, depressurize, on off, and then we go over there. Oh, I think we only need the depressurize on off. Yeah, because go like this. This should lock the entire system. Right, so now you should technically start to fill this up with oxygen. No, I already have oxygen in the system. Let's see. Okay, one way to test if I have oxygen in the system. Let's go right there, and yeah, you see, we recovered oxygen. This is everything is connected, so you should be pressurizing this area, no? As we can see over there, we have a green light, meaning that we have an airtight space. If not, it would stay yellow. Like, for example, if I open the door, it changes from green to yellow because this is no longer an airtight space. So, what seems to be the problem now? Well, I found the problem. I forgot to weld that conveyor junction right there. Well, that would explain why nothing is pressurizing. There we go. It should start pressurizing now. Not yet. There we go. The vents were just playing funny. But now, as we can see, we are slowly but steadily pressurizing the chamber over here. Ah, there we go. For a moment I thought, do I really have a leak somewhere? Because these corners and these windows, they can be kind of funny, but as long as you always build on the inside block, there is no problem. And by the way, what I mean by inside block, if you see, I cannot build anything in there, right? Because I built this window on the inside block instead of attaching it to the outside. That's when you start running into problems. But now, if I want to leave and not waste all the oxygen, I just come over here, depressurize the room, although my storages are completely full, so the oxygen has nowhere to go, and so we are always going to vent a little bit. But that's how it would work in theory. So another thing complete, we have an airtight base. So there is there is not a lot of extra things to do. So I'm going to start with the just welding of those interior thingies, not places. I'm going to add a few more things just to make the interior look a little bit more alive, and then the outside beautification, because I want to add a platform that takes me all the way from the cockpit into the base. You know, we are in zero gravity, but we have mag boots, so if we can walk to a place, we should probably try to do so instead of just flying everywhere. Okay, my friends, the interior is done. It's pretty simple, but at the same time, it's not that bad looking. So we have a small resting area over here with a kitchen and a seating area for the people, you know, so that they can eat their meals. We also have a resting area over here with some beds and bathrooms, you know, for when nature calls. And a medical area. I don't know why this is shown on HUD, but it should not be. Thank you very much. And I think this is going to be it. It's going to be it. We are not going to be utilizing that space too often, so it's mostly for aesthetical purposes. Now let's take a look how it does look from the outside. Looking pretty neat, I have to say. Nice. Now, one of the final things that we have yet to do before this thing is somewhat complete, at least when it comes for the current state, would be to build just a small catwalk that goes from here all the way over there. Should be relatively simple and easy. And there we go. I didn't enclose this side because we are going to expand, therefore we're also going to expand the catwalk. So, let's please attach correctly. That would be nice. Thank you. So, let's imagine that we just parked our vehicle. We would then be greeted with the stairs. I'm not going to put the platform over there because that's a quick way to crash my cockpit against something. But this is as close as we are going to get. Then we have a catwalk that leads us all the way over there. We even have this sign to welcome the visitors to our refueling station, which should be just us, but still. In homage to the 7 days to die, let's name these the Pass and Gas. And from here we can take whatever actions we want. We can go inside, put some production, whatever we feel like it. Right now the Hulk is refilled. This thing is now also stocking up on fuel. It's going to take a little bit of time because we only have 3 oxygen generators, but we are not going to be using fuel all the time, so it's always going to be able to produce more fuel than the one that we use. So I am cool with the amount of production that we have. And to think that we built all of this simply from the Hulk colonizing ship. If you remember the first time that we started setting up blocks in this place, we didn't even had brought a single plate with us. It was mostly mined resources from asteroids and just a little bit that we brought from our base, like cobalt and silver. So it is quite impressive, if you have a little bit of time to spare, of course, because I had to wait a long time, especially for those bulletproof glasses. But other than that, it was actually pretty quick. But well, my friends, now that the refueling station is built, we have the opportunity to move into the next stage of this playthrough. We are going to leave our static roots behind and we are going to expand ourselves into the nomad lifestyle. The next few episodes we are going to build all the equipment that we are going to need long term. For example, like a space-worthy monstrosity vehicle and stuff like that. I'm also going to want to build a large capital ship where we can fit both the space-worthy monstrosity, a scouting vessel, and the Hulk over here. If we can fit all of those vehicles inside of our capital ship and then move on into you know, other planets, or in this case first go to the moon, whatever the moon is. I can't see it from here, I can only see Mars right there. And yeah, we also should go to Mars, but the moon first, right? We should go towards the closest space bodies to us. But with all of that said, guys, this video was started in 2021 and finished in 2022 because I ran out of time yesterday. So, with all of that said, guys, I hope that you have a wonderful New Year's Eve, and that this year is hopefully how was it? I hope that the best part of 2021 is the worst part of 2022, or something like that. You know, one of those phrases that you guys can see on social media and stuff like that. In any case, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye.